Hi, everybody. From Siri to Cortana and any other wannabe AI device you see, everything's bringing us closer and closer to the Star Trek age. There are apps to translate language, probably for just about any smartphone for $1 or two. The Air Force, however, is looking for a universal translator that it can deploy to almost any troop to go almost anywhere and allow them to be 99% effective or so. Now, I think this is a great idea and I think it's a bad idea. Number one, it's almost always going to be used by professionals anyway, so what's the point? But what it really does is it cuts down on the amount of schooling you need, or at least the amount of training one would need in a particular language, and it also gives them more field experience because somebody who's had 6 months to a year can now go commence with the locals and help out, and now is able to communicate hopefully back and forth. Now what I want to do, or what I would rather like to see, instead of Star Trek translator, and I'm not certain I really remember the Star Trek translator as far as how they work and function, but what I want is a Men in Black universal transmitter. I understand it'd be for Earth languages only. I'm not going to that distance. What I'm saying is it would be able to give you text and language functions, and it would be able to communicate something where someone speaks, it will translate it, and then you can type it or speak, and then it will translate back. And this may be the same function for both fictional universes, but to me, the Men in Black one always seemed to have a higher resolution function. To me, it almost seemed like the Star Trek one always had problems with algorithms, and it almost wasn't working when it needed to be, and always getting things wrong, which most of the programs today, folks, do just that. I mean, they're only as good as the people who make them, and several generations down the line, they're 1,000 to 100,000 times better. So, it's come out of Popular Science, and I actually like this idea. The world's getting simpler, folks, and it's also getting more complex. Human language technologies are becoming the new need, and hopefully this doesn't dissolve the idea of interpreters, but the military wants a technology that can work as an interpreter in real time, a universal translator. Or perhaps a less squeamish version of Douglas Adams' Babelfish. Last week, the U.S. Air Force Research Laboratory put out a solicitation for such a device. They're calling it a human language technology, or technologies. I don't know, device or something. Who knows what the whole situation is. But the thing that you guys need to understand about this, and I've worked a little bit here and there with technology, is that you're talking about having libraries of data of both language and written text, and an entire library of text with comprehension on grammar, on not only speech, but day-to-day use of speech is actually quite difficult, and different regions of the world would obviously have their own version. But this would almost be a network technology that if the network went down, you would be sitting there just twiddling your thumbs. I think it's a fantastic idea. I think everyone should have a device that they can, read, write, and know various languages. I do. I've almost always believed in it. Do I know whether or not this will be available by 2020? Oh yeah, in some form I imagine it'll be available in 6 months to a year. But the problem with language, folks, is the interpretation of the data like anything else. I mean, we have so many day-to-day parodies in our language, so to speak, that if we talk about, a baseball game, or say that, they got knocked out of the park or something, make a reference to this or that, the manograms basically. The translator in its first couple generations would not be able to pick up the most of those nuances. Now, a good company, a good logistics company, good language company, a good company like Lockheed Martin or Boeing, doing the project management, I guarantee you everything would be said and done and everything would be fine. But if you're going to use this for anything more than a day-to-day conversation, I don't know, folks. I wouldn't put my life on a technology, but this would definitely help translate a situation, and it would definitely help everyone around get to a point faster in business deals and everything else. So, let me know what you think. Thank you.